Do you appreciate the intoxicated species that sit at the back?
Of course. That's what makes you laugh.
All right.
That's what gets your motor going. Hearing them on the sideline.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Shooter's Roll. Today we have a special guest, Vanessa Pernicious. That's what it is. So I don't want to give all your history where you played for. We'll basically get into it. You were initially a juniors at Comets.
Yeah.
Take me from there and when you started there and where you are now and who you're playing for now.
Cool, yeah. So I started playing obviously like club level for CYS, and then obviously that's how you get into the rep system. So then I started triple bottom age under 12s for Sydney Comets.
Triple bottom.
And played all my junior. Yeah. So I was 9 when I started.
Was that tough for you? Like, keep you playing with girls, I guess, a bit older? And
yeah, I think so like my coach, like it was Jacob Jacomas, he coached me when I was younger, so I think he kind of got me ready for playing at that level as well. But it was cool, yeah, like especially playing with girls 2 to 3 years older. I think really helped me later on in my career. I think that's what really helped me, like starting at a young age, playing with older people, older bodies, bigger bodies, and yeah, just like smarter IQ on the court. I mean, obviously you're still at a young age, but like, you know, I feel like you can see the difference when you're that young, like a 9-year-old compared to a 12-year-old.
Sure. Yeah,
so
because
yeah,
Vanessa, because I find with I guess girls, when you play competition or a team sport, they're very about playing with your friends. So did you experience any of that, like because you weren't at the same age?
Yeah, I did. Obviously, like when I got older, when I got to top age, they were like my friends and the people like the same age as me. So it was really just for like 1 year that it was kind of like, obviously like my first year, like I didn't really know anyone because it was my first year playing, and also because they were 2 to 3 years older. But then once I got to bottom age and also same as double bottom age, I kind of like knew and I got used to the people that I was playing with. But at a young age, actually, which is surprising, I really didn't really care who I was like playing with, which is I think like very rare, especially like as like a kid, you know what I mean? Like you want to play with your friends and all that stuff. But it didn't really bother me. So yeah, so I played triple bottom age under 12 all the way through to under 18s, and I played for state teams, both under 16s, bottom age, top age, and under 18s, and then I played under 20s as well, just one of those, and then played for under 17s and under 19s junior Australia teams and 2 World Junior Game teams, and then was at college for 4 years at Virginia Tech.
Where'd you play first after Virginia Tech?
So straight out of college, I actually played for Adelaide Lightning, and then the next season I came home, played for Sydney Uni Flames, and then last year I just finished up, or this year, just finished up playing my first season in Europe, in Greece. So that was pretty cool.
Sure. Okay, let's take it back a moment. So what was your highlight, I guess, in your junior career? Was it winning the state championships, the Metro titles, or the bronze medal at nationals?
My juniors would have to be, actually have 2 probably key moments. I think winning the Junior Classic in Melbourne, we were under 16s. Yeah, I was under 16s top age, and we won the Junior Classics, which is a really tough tournament. I mean,
it is. Yeah.
Any team knows. Like a lot of the Melbourne teams are really tough, strong, even like the Sydney teams that go down there. But yeah, I think winning that and also winning the under 18 national title. So I was top age 18s when we won that. And that was in Perth. That was pretty cool as well. So that was probably the highlight of my junior career. So, I mean, obviously, and also representing Australia. I mean, you can't look by that, but I think outside of representing Australia, like my juniors, like Comets and New South Wales, I think those were my 2 fond memories.
Let's take it to Virginia Tech now. So how was your college experience overall?
It was amazing. Probably the best 4 years of my life. Like I say that all the time. Like even when younger teenagers like are asking me, should I go to college? Should I try it? I always tell them, do it. I mean, you can always come back home. If you don't like it, you can always come back. So yeah, I do not regret anything. The best 4 years of my life, hands down.
What was the highlight being there? What was it? The fact that moving away from Australia and to focus on playing basketball, or was it something that you saw, I guess, playing in the college system in the US and achieving a goal of yours or something?
Yeah, I think playing against some of the top people in the country, and not even the country, in the world, because there are also players from all around the world that go to college. But I think just like the top athletes, especially being in the ACC, which is one of the top conferences in college basketball. So you were up against every night. You didn't really have a night off. Like, you were up against some of the best athletes, best scorers, best defenders. So it really challenge you every night. But yeah, I think that was one of the highlights. And even just, you know, I was able to push myself, push my limits. And yeah, so I think that was it. Also, I mean, moving away from home was tough at first. I mean, like the first few months were tough, but I mean, you get over that. I mean, you know, as people would say, you get homesick for a few weeks, few days, and you get over it. I mean, you're around your teammates, your coaches, and they're pretty much your second family away from home. So that, as the years went on, it didn't really affect me. Obviously, like certain holidays, Christmas, Easter and all that, you miss home, of course, birthdays. But when you have a goal in mind and you want basketball to be your career, I think you have to sacrifice certain things to get to where you want to get to.
Okay, you know, when you say you went against some of the best players every night, is there any current WNBA players that you can name that were your hardest people to, I guess, to guard?
Yeah, I mean, Diamond DeShields, she plays for Chicago Sky. I played her twice, actually. She was playing for North Carolina, and it was actually crazy. Our freshman year, she was my age, so we were both freshmen. She was one of the top. She was a high school American, I think top 5 freshmen coming into our class. So yeah, she was at North Carolina my freshman year, and then she transferred to Tennessee, and then my junior year we actually played Tennessee again. So we actually beat North Carolina at North Carolina. That was a crazy game. And then when she moved to Tennessee, we played them at Tennessee and we beat them again. So it was great, actually, and she was such a top recruit. I mean, she's a great player, don't get me wrong, but it was just good to get that win over her, especially at North Carolina, and then when she moved again to Tennessee. But there were so many athletes. I mean, my freshman year, Elizabeth Williams, that plays for Atlanta, she's a beast. Alyssa Thomas at Maryland, she plays for Connecticut Sun. Yeah, there was a lot of players now that are playing the WNBA, and I actually just saw a game this morning, Atlanta versus Dallas, and there were a few faces that were familiar, so it was pretty cool to see that.
Oh, awesome. So
yeah,
talk about your college life, right? So we're trying to give advice, I guess, to all the young ballers coming up in Australia. So the question is, how was dorm life and living away from home? You touched on a little bit. Just go a bit deeper into that.
Yeah. So our freshman year, we had to live on campus, which is, I think, a really good idea. You know, everything's close by. Freshmen weren't allowed to have cars on campus. So, I mean, it makes you walk, mingle with other student athletes. Obviously, the upperclassmen had cars. So if we really did need a ride anywhere, they would take us. But I think having no car and having to live on campus really made us mingle and get to know the school, get to know other student athletes, whether they were going through some stuff, they could help. I could help them out. If I was going through some stuff, they could help me out. You know, we were all pretty much living away from home. So we were all in the same boat with that. But yeah, so we would live on campus. There were 3 rooms in like an apartment. It was weird. It was like in each like kind of apartment little room, there were 3 bedrooms, so 2 to each room. So there were 6 of us in one dorm. You know, we had a shared bathroom, which was pretty sweet. We had a little like a common area, and then on the same floor as like the whole apartment, there was like a kitchen on each floor. So it was pretty good, actually. Like the freshmen, I mean, it's all we really needed. You know what I mean? Everything was close by. We could walk to the facility, which was a 5-minute walk, if that. 24-hour access to the facilities, which is great. If you can't sleep at night, you can just go to the gym, get some shots up. yeah, we were pretty spoiled. I mean, I think that is one of the positives and the best things about college is the access you have to the facilities that they provide is just second to none. Like you just can't get that here.
Yeah. So were you homesick initially?
It only, to be honest, it only really took me like, I'd say like the first month, I would be like, and then after that, I mean, I was fine. I mean, obviously, like I said, certain times of the year, you know, sometimes one week you might be a bit down, the next you're fine. Like it would go up and down. I mean, I was around like my teammates. I love my teammates. We were really close, so I think that helped a lot. And like I said, like our staff, our coaches, everything, they were awesome. So, I mean, like I said, they were pretty much our family away from home.
You had Obi from the LA 36ers the other week, and he had some, I guess, advice to say, make sure you go to college visits and make sure that this is what your setup is and you like it.
Right.
Do you have something like along those lines of like your bad experiences that you can, I guess, help the next up and comers in Australia?
Right. That's actually funny he said that because I actually didn't go on a visit.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
To Virginia Tech. Yeah, so I was in Year 12 and obviously I had under 19 junior championships. We had like pre-tournaments for that. So I was away from school for a little bit. So I decided when I was choosing which college to go to, like they were like, okay, when do you want to come on your official visit, blah, blah, blah. And I spoke with my dad and I actually had no time because I was busy.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So much school. So I was already so behind in Year 12, stressing about that. And then, yeah, so I decided not to actually take a visit. And they were like, we've actually never heard of this. Like, are you sure you want to do this? And I was like, well, I kind of have no choice. Like, yeah, so I was just getting information like online, people that I knew, like the college system. One of the girls was Aussie that was there. So I was just asking those people. And then I just decided with Virginia Tech, and I'm actually glad I didn't go on the visit because like when I got there, it's a country little town and it's a college town. So I think if I actually went on the visit, I would have looked at it, arrived there and been like, no, I cannot do this for 4 years. So I'm actually glad, like it's a blessing in disguise that I didn't actually go on a visit. But yeah, no, I would say to those that are wanting to go to college that they get all the information that they need and to not be scared to ask questions. Like ask any question that you have. Whether, even if you think that it's a stupid question to ask, just ask it because you don't want to get there and then regret and be like, wow, I wish I would have asked this question. I would have known this. And I would have decided on a whole another situation. I think don't look into too much the recruiting, how they recruit you, because a lot of obviously they want you to attend their university. So they're going to say anything and everything to get you there, which I saw like obviously once I was there. And like when they're trying to recruit people, they're going to say all the good stuff about the university. So just keep in mind that there are obviously negatives with every place that you're going to go to. They may not say that, I'm not sure, but they're obviously going to hype up the university. So just make sure that you ask any questions that you think you need to know before going over to college. Because you're going to be spending you're going to be spending the next 4 years and you want everything to align, right? Obviously there's going to be speed humps in the road. Don't get me wrong, wherever you go. But at least you knew the situation before going there. You know yourself, well, I asked everything I could have, you know what I mean? So just make sure that you do your research before you attend wherever you're going to attend. And don't just look at the name of the school. Oh yeah, it's a big time school. I'm going to go there, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, I think you should look at the little things like the roster, the coach, how your relationship is with the coach, what culture they're trying to build at the school, within the basketball team, and all that stuff. So I think
there's a lot of will it be like a style of play too? Style of play, like the coach might maybe play
like
center,
if their style of play doesn't suit the way that you play, why are you going to go there? Just because it's a big time name school, that's, I think, my opinion, that's a bit stupid just to go there because of that. So you got to see if their style of play fits with the way that you play, whether they like to play up and down, whether they're a defensive focused school, whether they like to play with on balls, they like to play in the open court. There's just so many things to consider, and I think Obviously at like a young age, 17, 18, when you are deciding where to go, not many people tell you those things. And it's easy to miss out on. So yeah, I think that would be my advice.
Cool. Let's go to Adelaide. First year in Adelaide and coming back to Australia to play.
Yeah, I loved it. Obviously, Chris Lucas, I had him as my assistant coach for the Under-17 Junior Championships, and I loved Chris. Really easy to talk to. He knew my game. I knew the way he coached, so I actually felt really comfortable, deciding to play at Adelaide, even though it was away from home again. Yeah, I think I was really comfortable. I knew some of the girls that were going to be playing on that team. Yeah, I like the way that he coaches. He really pushes his players, and I really like the way that he develops his players as well. Like we had about 2 years prep time for the Under-17 Junior Championships, and the way he develops and talks to you as a player, I thought would really help my game.
Yep. So comfortability, and I have here that would you call Chris Lucas a legend coach?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, now you see him, he's assistant coach the Australian Opals. He really knows his stuff. Like I said, he really knows how to communicate to his players and get the best out of them. So he's developed players like Lauren Nicholson. She's played there the last 3 years. Nicole Seacamp. He really knows how to communicate and vibe with his players, both on and off the court.
Yep. Cool. We have this curvy question. We asked Obi what was a 36er, and it took him a little while to figure it out. I had to look it up. So I wanted to ask you a question. What is the lightning?
It's like the lightning strike. I mean, every time we brought our hands in, would be like strike. We'd say 1, 2, 3 strike. So yeah. I guess. Yeah,
is that the middle, right? Let's move on to your 2013. So the Lithuania Under-19 World Championships. How was it, the experience, and also winning the bronze medal?
It was awesome. So Under-19s, that was a pretty quick turnaround from Under-17. So with Under-17s, we had a 2-year preparation time, which is a pretty long time, to prepare. So we had a few development camps prior to the tournament. So Under-19s was pretty much a quick turnaround. I think we only had 1 camp to prepare or to choose from before they actually named the team. So it was a quick turnaround. We didn't have much preparation time. We had 1 pre-tournament, I want to say it was in France. Yeah, pre-tournament was in France before we went to Lithuania. But we were really clicked as a team, I think, even though we had a short preparation time. We had amazing players on the team. Steph Talbot, Carly Mujovic, who else? Ali Wilson, Talia Tapea. So we had a started team. It was really good to learn from those older players as well, players that I hadn't really actually played with. So yeah, it was awesome, and obviously to win the bronze medal was just amazing.
Yeah, was it something that the team had a goal to win a medal? What was it? Realistic goal? And we thought it was realistic as well. It wasn't just we hope to get a medal. No, we are getting a medal kind of thing. Cheryl Chambers was our head coach. She was awesome. So every time we would have team meetings, to win a medal was it. Like there was no going against that. So obviously we wanted the gold, and that's your obviously priority. But I mean, we reached our goal of getting a medal. So yep, definitely coming home with something is better than nothing. So definitely a great accomplishment there. Let's just move along to, I guess, the Flames. So this shot out for Lloyd. Lloyd wanted to say that do you appreciate the intoxicated species that sit at the back?
Of course. That's what makes you laugh. That's what gets your motor going. Hearing them on the sideline. So
how was it to play for Sydney, I guess, coming home and being around family?
Yeah, it was awesome. Obviously being away from home for so long prior, to be home finally was great. Obviously I knew a few players on the team as well. Ali, Talia that I had played, like I said, under 19s with. So I had history with a few of those players. And then just knowing the club, since I was, part of the academy at a younger age, I was a development player at a younger age. So I kind of knew, our weights guy, like I knew the arena, I knew how to get around. So it kind of made things a little bit more easier. But yeah, no, it was cool. I loved it.
Yep. And let's go on to your experience, I guess, playing in Europe. Like compare it, I guess, to your other experiences and just your experience overall.
I loved it, especially playing in Greece. I think that made it a little bit easier since I knew the language. I was able to communicate, with my coach, with my teammates a little bit easier. Even though they spoke really, really good English, like they were great. But it just made, I think, just a communication level, even like if my coach, like in the heat of the moment on the court, if he had to say something in Greek, he was able to say it, and I was able to relate to my team, like the Americans on the team as well. We were a really tight-knit group as well. We weren't very deep. We only had about 6 players that really got court time, so it was pretty tough. So we were playing big minutes, and the rest of the players were pretty young. So it was interesting. I think the core of the group was really solid, but it was just tough at practice sometimes. Trying to play 5-on-5 with younger players, I think that was a little bit tough at times. But no, I loved every second of it. I don't regret anything. I'm actually going back there to another team, but with the same coach. So my coach has moved teams, and then I'm going with him to that new team. So yeah, it should be interesting.
So he basically took you to a new team.
Yeah.
If you sign me, you sign Vanessa. Okay.
Yeah,
awesome.
Pretty much. Yeah. So no, I'm pretty keen because the new club is a really big club. They're really organized, very professional. So I'm really excited to get over there.
Awesome. So compare the two styles, I guess, in Australia versus, I guess, the US versus Europe. Is there a difference? Is there a major difference? Or just explain your experience of the 3 different types of games in those countries.
I think in the US, you obviously get your more athletic players that are more versatile. I think in Australia, we're more up and down. We like to push the ball. We like to play our full court defense. As soon as you score, right onto defense. I think in Europe, they're more into their set plays, slow the ball down a little bit more, not really run and gun like here in the WNBL. So playing different styles, I think, has helped my game. I think it kind of makes you adapt to the different styles of basketball. And I actually didn't mind the European way. So, and obviously now that I'm staying with the same coach that I had, so I'm going to know his system a little bit better. He knows my game. I know the way he coaches, so I can obviously help like my other teammates that haven't had him as a coach. But yeah, I think those are the main differences between all 3.
Sure. So just go back to Greece. Shane Hill had a story that he had coins thrown at him, and smokers are allowed to smoke in the venue, and drinks poured onto them when they lost the game. Can you talk of any experiences like that? I guess what Shane Hill had.
Yeah. So he played for Panathinaikos, I'm pretty sure, and those fans are crazy. Like when we played. So the girls don't play at the same stadium as the men's do. It's like a small cave. So it's really like the crowd is like on you, and they pack it. Like there's really not much room, but they pack it. There's flares going off. Like it's wild. When we played Panathinaikos at our home, they brought them down. So they drove a bus, which is like 4 hours. They drove a bus with all of their fans, packed out our stadium, had flares going off. Like it was crazy. I'd never seen anything like it. But then like obviously the men's is a little bit more, I think, hectic and full on than the women's. But my teammate actually used to play for Olympiacos, which is their rival. And she said when they played like the rival game, their fans would literally spit on them when they were warming up shooting free throws. And I actually did not believe her. I go, "You are lying." She goes, no, I actually do not. Like one of my teammates was shooting a free throw, and she's like, "What's on the back of your shirt?" And it was literally spit. Like,
Oh man.
I could not believe it. Yeah, it was pretty disgusting. But yeah, they're crazy.
Sure. All right, that's it today. I just wanted to leave it open. Did you wanted to say anything, I guess, to our viewers or?
Just to those people that are wanting to go to college and are a bit umming and ahhing, obviously now in these unprecedented times, you know, it is a bit like you don't know what the future holds, but I really recommend it. Like I said at the beginning of this podcast, home is always here. So if you don't like it, at least you can say you gave it a try. You know, I just think you should experience it. It's a free education. You're playing against some of the best players in the world. I think if you really want to challenge yourself, both academically and athletically, I think you should choose the college system.
Sure, that's awesome. Just one more question about your career. So you're going back to Greece and you're playing for a new team. What's it like for you on the national level?
Yeah, so they've just named their squad. So I wasn't named in that. But I am able to maybe look to play for the Greek national team because I have a passport.
Oh.
So that could be an option for me now, which I am looking into. Obviously, there's steps to go through and clearances and all that stuff. But yeah, so that's a new option for me that I've discovered. So we'll see what the future holds.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you for your time, Vanessa, today.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we'll basically follow your career and hopefully we'll touch base in the future and see what you're up to.
Perfect. Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
Thank you. Bye.
Subscribe to support our channel. Coming out with new weekly videos